Fast food. Now you may be asking yourself, Kodiak, you're a boxing channel. What are you doing making a tier list on fast food? During this process of training for the undefeated 3-0 prospect that is Jordani, I have had to make some dietary sacrifices that have been very painful. In other words, I have had food all on my mind as of late, and so I thought to myself, like, right when I'm done with the fight, whenever I win, whenever I knock out Jordani, what is the first thing that I want to go do? So that's essentially what we're doing today. I'm making a tier list of good fast food places, bad fast food places, and just all that good stuff. Got some rants. I've got some true wherewithal and disdain towards some of these fast food chains, and some absolute glazing that you're about to absolutely see from me. We got Chick-fil-A, we got McDonald's, we got Dairy Queen, Arby's, and just everything in between. I may have a tendency to yap during this video. I'm already yapping a ton during this intro, so I mean, I may have to split this up into 2 parts. Gonna, try something a little bit different, have a little bit of fun, and just go from there. Anyway, if you guys are new here, my name is Kodiak B&D. I post every single Wednesday. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, all that stuff. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. With your guys' help, I believe we can do it. And with all that intro stuff out the way, let's get right into the video. Okay, so before I go ahead and get started, I kind of want to go ahead and lay out the criteria I am going for when making this video. So one thing y'all got to understand about me, and this is probably one of the most controversial characteristics about my entire being, is I am one of the most bland food enjoyers that you could possibly see in life. I am one of those people that I do not believe in food touching. I do not believe in mayo, mustard, or ketchup touching my burger. You can call me an 8-year-old, and I do not care, because I believe that if you need mayo or mustard or ketchup to make your food at your establishment taste better or good, then I got bad news for you, but it's most likely that your crap is garbage. So I'm essentially grading the most bland, basic, in most people's eyes, like the base form of food. So like a cheeseburger. I'm not thinking of a cheeseburger with mayo, mustard, ketchup, pickles, all that stuff. I'm thinking burger, cheese, bread. Or if you're going to Chick-fil-A and you're trying to go get some chicken tenders or some chicken nuggets, I'm grading the fries, I'm grading the chicken. I ain't talking about no Chick-fil-A sauce, I ain't talking about no McDonald's sauce, none of that stuff right there. We're strictly grading the base stuff. And even when I say stuff like that, I'm still going to have some controversial opinions in here, but regardless, I just wanted to go ahead and lay that out about me, because I'm going to put some things in certain places and y'all are going to be thinking, bro, are you serious? But now I think it'll make a little bit more sense where I'm going. So let's go ahead and start with the first one, Arby's. All right, we're putting that at the very bottom. Honestly, I wanted to make a whole tier for Arby's. Let me go ahead and tell y'all a story about Arby's. All right, this is the one and only time I had Arby's. So obviously, it's a huge meme that Arby's is garbage, and I bought into the meme for a little bit, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go there one time. So my family took me to Arby's one night for my little sister's birthday. So we went to Arby's, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get the fabled Arby's sandwich. Just nothing too crazy, just a little basic sandwich that my family would recommend, because they go. I think it was like a plain turkey with a little bit of meat in there. Like I said, I'm very basic when it comes to my food taste. So I took a bite out of that, right? I was glued to my bathroom for a solid 3 days. In that time span, I want to see if I can pull up the pictures of myself in the mirror from the amount of weight that I lost from those 3 days. I was genuinely so sick. And I remember taking photos of that experience, because I was just like bamboozled, because it was just so painful. It was one of those, like when you're in the bathroom and it's so bad, like you literally have to take off all your clothes, because it's just like you have to lock in that hard. Like if you're a guy, you understand this. So like that is the pain and sorrow that Arby's brought my soul. And so as a result, I am absolutely putting it in bad. I'm never giving it another chance. Like there's just no, like I'm just no. It's in bad. I should honestly, no. I'm putting it. So I didn't even list out the criterias here. So I've got for this tier. I've got the best, I've got great, I've got solid, all right, bad. I got a whole tier section here of like never had, like you know, I've never had Panera Bread, I've never had Del Taco, Churches, you know, just a bunch of like random things like that. And at the very bottom, there's a tier called I'd Rather Starve, and that is exactly where I'm putting Arby's. If you give me the option between an Arby's sandwich and going hungry for the next 7 days, then best believe I am literally not eating for 7 days, and I'm not going to regret it one singular bit. I'll take that time to fast and get closer to the Lord rather than indulge in the pain, in the sin of man that Arby's is. But yeah, regardless, that's where I'm going to be putting that. So let's go ahead and get into the next one. Chick-fil-A. Okay, complete opposite of the spectrum here. Honestly, here's the deal with Chick-fil-A. It's goated. Like, so already right now it's going in great for now. But is it the best? Is it the best? That's the real... That's the debate I have to have within my mind. It's not a situation of, oh, is it great? Is it solid? Is it all? No. I'm the trouble I'm gonna have is am I gonna put it in like the best of all time or just great? Because I genuinely can't think of anything wrong with Chick-fil-A. Like even on a little another fun fact about me. So during my diet and stuff like that, especially for this fight camp, I give myself at least like one cheat day on my off season and then one cheat meal a week per, you know, all that stuff. So typically, like, you know, so that means I'll go to like one fast food place or something like that and just, you know, indulge, enjoy. And you know, so and Chick-fil-A is great because literally they've got healthy options. You know, they got that grilled chicken, which that base grilled chicken is amazing. My girlfriend put me onto that. It's truly incredible. They got some chips to go alongside it for that little extra bit of flavor. But you get that, brother, even without the sauce, all that stuff. I ain't talking about that. The regular, like the chicken nuggets, the fries, the chicken tenders, the chicken sandwiches, brother. Just that base chicken recipe they got there. It's just... It's beautiful. It just literally, it has everything. The desserts are also there. I love their cookies, their brownies, all that good stuff. Forgive the background. My dog is going absolutely ham on this bone over here. So if you hear that in the background, I do apologize. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like I have to put it in the best. I mean, like, I can't literally think of a thing wrong with Chick-fil-A other than the fact it's closed on Sunday, which, I mean, that's the Lord's Day. You know, they're a religious business much like myself. So, I mean, hey, I can't really be too upset with that. We all need to go to church, all that good stuff. But, yeah, honestly, I think either, depending on, you know, where things go along in the list, I may move it up or down from the best or to great. It's not going anywhere lower than great, but we'll probably shift some stuff around here as we go along. But I mean, literally, wow, two opposite ends of the spectrum right off rip. With I'd rather starve with Arby's, and then the just like probably top 3 best with Chick-fil-A. So I mean, that's just wow. Here we go. Let's get into the next one here. McDonald's. Okay. All right, honestly, this is honestly why I made this list, because I have I've got some things to say about McDonald's. Let me tell you something right now. I hate McDonald's with a passion. Not necessarily because it's the worst, because it's not as bad as Arby's. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that McDonald's is worse than Arby's. My problem with McDonald's is people glaze this fast food chain so much to the point where it pisses me off. And here's the thing. I'm about to say some absolute blasphemy against you McDonald's fans out there, but I need you to understand this right here. If you are below 160 pounds in weight, you don't get an opinion. I don't want to hear the opinion of somebody whose metabolism is faster than a 12-year-old's first orgasm. I never want to hear that in my life. Listen here, I am 200 plus pound man, all right? I am a certified fat ass. I have been a certified fat ass for 22 years of my life. Trust you me, I get to have a say on this, and this is my true opinion about McDonald's, is that it's garbage. Not necessarily because that their food, well, first off, let's talk about, before we even get into the food, let's just talk about the type of people that you encounter at McDonald's. Literally, what aggravates me, listen here, I used to work at fast food, so I understand the behind the scenes of everything. Listen here, I understand things get busy. I understand things, you know, it's hard to do this, that, or the other, all right? But you're talking about me. the most picky eater in all of human history. All I require from you when I go to McDonald's is just a plain double cheeseburger. Meat, cheese, bun. And I'll go there and they'll put everything on my burger. Sometimes they'll even give me the wrong order. It's like, it feels like that one episode of RDC World where they do that skit with the Popeyes dudes where they're like, here, go on. This ain't even my order. It's like, man, that is your order. Get on. So I'll play that clip if I can, so y'all understand what I'm talking about. But like, they will just straight up get your order wrong. They'll put stuff on your crap that you didn't ask for. Like, and keep in mind, like, it's harder to do all that than to just give me meat, cheese, and a bun. And literally, I kid you not, I have a lot more to say. Like Arby's I had once and I never had it again. I've had McDonald's several times throughout my life. You know how many times they've gotten my order right? Once, brother. And even during the time where like they got my order right, the freaking meat was burnt, the cheese was okay, but and then the bun was just, it was a bun, but like it was just god awful. I've never had a good experience with the burgers at McDonald's. And then we get into the nuggets, right? All right, so here's the thing. People always sit here and they're like, oh yeah, the McDonald's nuggets are really good. You get that McDonald's Szechuan sauce, you put it in the ketchup, you put it in all this stuff. What about just the base chicken nugget? There's not a lick of seasoning. I swear, like, there's not a lick of seasoning on that thing. There is nothing. It's like the McDonald's chicken nuggets are like the equivalent of like whatchamacallit, like of a porta potty, like toilet paper, like the sandpaper toilet paper you'd find in a porta potty. Like when you're going down, you're trying to take care of business, and then you're like, oh, it's sandpaper. Like that's how I feel every time I put a McDonald's chicken nugget within my mouth. My girlfriend comes home, she gets McDonald's, she offers me a McDonald's chicken nugget. You know what I say every single time? No, absolutely not. I'm not putting that disdain against God inside of my mouth. Absolutely not. And like again, like people always tell me, they're like, oh yeah, you put the ketchup and the mustard and all that stuff in the sauce, it's really good. No, if you need all that stuff to make your food taste good, taste edible. Because brother, McDonald's is borderline unedible. I'm gonna just be real. It's borderline. It's not quite. It's edible. It's like something you find in a garbage can. And just because, and we'll get into this here, because everybody always makes the excuse for, oh, well, McDonald's is like super cheap, so I mean it's like there's an excuse for it there. We're gonna get into a place later on that proves that just because your food's cheap doesn't mean it has to be bad. So I mean, there's just no excuse. Like, the service is bad. The type of like awful encounters I've had in McDonald's have been awful. The service is awful. They I swear to God, no matter who works there, no matter what type of person works there, they cannot get their crap in order. And then the meme of the McDonald's ice cream machine always being broken is absolutely true. I mean, literally, like the one time I was excited because I was like, yo, they actually have a working ice cream machine. Bet. You know what they gave me? They gave me milk with M&Ms in it. Yes, you heard that right. They give me milk with M&Ms in it. No, absolutely not. I wouldn't say I'd rather starve, all right, because Arby's deserves a tier of its own, but it's bad. It is very bad. Back of bad, honestly, right now. It's just, there is no, I'm telling you right now, if I get done with my fight, I knock out Jordani, and I am super hungry, because I will be super hungry. I am not going to be eating that whole day, because eating right before a fight gets me like slowed down. It kind of makes me not feel very good. So I'm going to be hungry, and I leave the building, I leave the venue, all that stuff. And if, on God, the only thing near that venue is a McDonald's, I am either going to go hungry, or I am going to drive 100 miles to find something different. Also, shout out to my dog. This is my dog Athena. She's super cool. But yeah, we're putting it in bad. I've talked a solid 10 minutes just about McDonald's alone. That's hilarious. All right, let's go ahead and kind of change up the thing here. Cookout. Okay, this is exactly what I was talking about a second ago when we're talking about cheap food, but can be good. McDonald's, everyone's excuse for it is oh yeah, it's cheap, so it's kind of what you expect, brother. Cookout is also cheap. The difference is they actually put at least a little bit of care into what they're putting into their food. Like they make sure that it's edible. That they're quick as mess, brother. I've seen Cookout lines go all the way out to the street, and not even 5 minutes later, I'm at the front and they got all my food. They've rarely gotten my food order wrong. I've been to Cookout in multiple different states, just like I have with McDonald's. I've very rarely, if ever, had a problem with the service over there. Like they just got it. They make solid, good, cheap food. And like, brother, like, you ever just like smoked and gotten so cooked in the middle of the night and thought to yourself, oh man, I need some food. I'm super duper hungry, but I need some like solid food. I don't need no gas station bull crap. I want something good. And then you remember, oh yeah, Cookout stays open till 3 a.m. And so you pull up to Cookout and you're like, all right, bet I'm gonna get me this, and this. And they got it. They got literally everything. They got burgers, they got tacos, they got things that shouldn't even belong in a fast food joint. They got it, brother. That honestly, if I asked them to give me a bazooka, they'd probably give me one of them things. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, whatever you need, they got it. They're like that dude in prison that, like, you give him a pack of raisins and they'll give you a literal grenade. Like, how they got that smuggled in there, I don't know. But that's how I feel about Cookout. So obviously, I want to put it in great. It's just a great, solid place, and it's cheap. You can literally get like 2 burgers, a double thing of fries, like 2 drinks, and a thing of ice cream for like $20. Most other places that's like $40, which is like, you can't beat it. You genuinely can't. Now, I do believe that sometimes, obviously it's cheaper food. Sometimes the taste can kind of remind you of going to a baseball game and ordering some food at like a school football game. But like, at the end of the day, it ain't bad. Sometimes the meat can be a little burnt on the burgers and things like that, but that's very rare to happen to me. I love their fries, things like that. You put a little bit of salt on them things. They're chilling. The ice cream there is solid. I remember I came home one night after getting one of them things, ice cream, and I went and took a shower, and I forgot I had it out here, and then it was still solid. It was still solid that whole time. Can't say the same for McDonald's. Before I even got it, it was already milk. So just solid, great. I can't say that it's better than Chick-fil-A, but solid. Like, if I can't have Chick-fil-A, I will absolutely be happy with Cookout. Cane's. All right, here's the thing about Cane's. All right, I think out of every single one right here, it is probably one of the most mid establishments I've possibly ever encountered in my entire life. Especially because, look, I live in Tennessee, so like, people are always they're like super excited. We're like, oh yeah, we're getting a Raising Cane's in Tennessee, we're getting a Raising Cane. And come to find out, like, here's the thing, Raising Cane's is mid. It just is. It's like, I don't get the hype. It's not bad. It's like, it's edible. It's certain. You put me in front of a situation where I have to choose Cane's or McDonald's, I'm taking Cane's every single day of the week. But it's not the freaking Chick-fil-A equivalent that everybody claims that it is. The chicken's a little bit stale. The fries are nothing to really speak of. Like, it's just like that. People hype it up as the chicken spot, and I can assure you right now, as a 22-year-old fat ass, it's not all it's cracked up to be. And I've been to multiple throughout my entire life, and now they brought it over here to Tennessee. Now I can't stop seeing the freaking Cane's propaganda everywhere from all these people that ain't never had no flavor in their chicken their entire life, so they think that, oh yeah, they added a pinch of pepper, that this is somehow revolutionary to the South, and I'm here to tell you that it's not. So, overall, with Cane's, where am I going to put it? I put it in alright. I'll put it at the front of alright. Because listen, Cane's once in a while, every now and then, can be pretty decent. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's not bad. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and say that, oh yeah, Cane's is so bad. It's overrated as absolute bejesus, but it ain't bad. It just exists. I'm actually kind of caught in between putting it in either solid or alright. Like, it's It's solid, and normally if it wasn't so overhyped, I'd put it in solid, but I feel like I have to put it in all right because it's just simply like it's not that good. Like I'm taking Chick-fil-A and Cookout any day over the week over that. So yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of there with that. That's all I gotta say there. Culver's, all right. I'm gonna put it in solid. Look, here's the thing about Culver's, right? I actually go here quite frequently. Here's the thing. I actually go here quite honestly, like, because I think you get a good little bit of bang for your buck. It's like I'll explain here in a little bit. It's kind of like if Sonic had like an indoor area. Like, it's got a solid burger, got a solid thing of fries. The only thing I really have bad to say about it, I mean, it's like it's no Cookout or Chick-fil-A, but I mean it's solid. The only real complaint I have about it is, again, with the ice cream. Because look, so let me break this down for you, because I know I've mentioned ice cream a lot in this stuff here. So like I said, I'm a professional fat ass, so obviously when I'm eating, I'm getting everything. I'm getting a burger, fries, drink, and a dessert. And best you believe that plays a factor when getting all this stuff. And Culver's is one of those places that's got all that. Some of these places like whatchamacallit, like some places you go to get like some burgers and fries, stuff like that, and then you go somewhere else for a dessert because the dessert's either not that good or you just honestly want something different. So Culver's, I mean, is one of those few places where you can get all of that, just like Chick-fil-A and Cookout. The only problem with Culver's is like every part of the meal is pretty good. The burger's pretty good, the fries are pretty good. It's just when you get to the ice cream, it's like the ice cream is, when it's cold and it's like got that solid texture in it, fantastic. But the thing is, it's like it kind of bothers me because like it melts so quickly. Like, at least it comes in solid form. It's not like McDonald's where it's just straight up milk off rip. But that time to deterioration is very, very quick, and it is closing very, very fast. My mom always told me growing up that, oh, you don't have to eat super duper fast. Your food's not going nowhere. Well, honestly, this is a perfect moment where I can explain to her that she's absolutely wrong, because my food is going somewhere. It's turning from a solid to a liquid at a very quick rate, and so I have to be I have to move very quickly in order to make sure that doesn't happen too quickly. And so I have something to eat instead of something to drink, you know what I mean? Like what I'll do, like typically at a lot of these places I get a lot of the same things, typically like if they have an option to do like a little like blizzard custard thing, like where you mix like the base ice cream with like M&Ms or some sort of chocolate variant, stuff like that. That's usually what I'll be doing. I usually be putting M&Ms inside my stuff, so I don't want to like dig through milk to reach the M&Ms at the bottom, so I eat it quick, so I'm not able to really enjoy it. So I feel like that's what kind of keeps it from being great for me, because I go to Culver's very often. I honestly, like during like before training camp started, I go literally like once or twice a week, genuinely, like, because I mean I can just sit down, chill out. It's not usually super duper crowded, other than like a couple times during the year where like some kids just had a soccer game win or something like that, and they go to Culver's to celebrate. But other than that, I haven't really had too many. Like generally, I haven't had really a bad experience there. They sometimes forget to bring you your drink, which is kind of annoying. Like that may just be the one that I go to, though. I mean, at other Culver's I've been to, I've not really had that problem. But I mean, yeah, it's just Culver's is just solid. I can't really say anything other than that. Yeah, Burger King. All right, I'm about to piss some people off with this. So here's the thing about Burger King. It's not good. It's just not. Honestly, I think Burger King is the ultimate irony of fast food chains, because it calls itself Burger King, yet it's like one of the most like mid establishments, if not worse than mid, ever. But I'm still taking it over McDonald's, because here's the thing. This is the one difference between Burger King and McDonald's to me, right? I'm about to tell you. So take the chicken nuggets, for instance. You got sandpaper with McDonald's, and then you have sandpaper with a little bit of pepper on it at Burger King. That's the only difference, literally. And then you come to their burgers, which, that's what you come there for. I kind of have a similar type of experience with their service over there. But I mean, look, but I'll give them credit. when they get it right, 1 out of every 10 times, for some reason, I don't understand. Some people can't fathom the concept of a plain double cheeseburger. So I mean, it's very frustrating that both McDonald's and Burger King are like this. But when they get it right, it's all right. I'll eat it. It's not great. I mean, I'm not gonna but it's not, at the same time, I'm not gonna spit it out. It's all right. I'd definitely take it over McDonald's and Arby's though. If those are the three choices I had in front of me: Burger King, McDonald's, Arby's. I'm taking Burger King every time. So I'm gonna put Burger King right behind Cane's in terms of all right. I mean, there's just not really much to say there here. So let's go ahead on to the next one. Moe's. Okay. That just lit up a fire within my soul. All right, so I'm gonna tell you something right now. I hate Moe's, but not for the reason you think. All right, Moe's I have such an issue with, specifically because of how I was introduced to it, and maybe over time I can kind of reconstitute my taste buds to actually enjoy it. But here was my introduction to Moe's, right? So I used to play football back in high school, and back in high school, my coaches, right before our games and things like that, would buy us these little pregame meals, and there'd be a variety of different things. Sometimes they'd bring a bucket load of Chick-fil-A chicken, which was just god tier, obviously. Sometimes they bring in some Bojangles, which we'll talk about here in a minute, but I mean, just a little bit of a spoiler, pretty decent, okay chicken. And then they sometimes bring in Moe's. And I just knew if we were getting Moe's, then they were pissed, because it's sad too, because Moe's is the one they got the most often, and they just get a plethora of these awful bean burrito abominations. And I remember every single time just dreading the thought of having to bite into one of those things, because the second I did, it was just absolute pandemonium within my stomach. Not quite as bad as Arby's, but very, very close. It literally every single time I'd take a bite of those, about 20 minutes later, I'd have to freaking just absolutely explode. But the worst part about it is we're on the football field, so I couldn't do nothing. And a lot of time I was doing this, I was on JV, because obviously, I was a sophomore at this. Well, I say that like y'all know. But at the time I was a sophomore, so I wasn't playing on the varsity quite yet. I was on the JV a lot of the stuff. So a lot of those JV guys, if you play football, they kind of just stand around there. So I'm over here, my stomach is cramping, dying, trying to explode. I'm over here trying to stand and crap myself. But I can't go anywhere or do anything, because we're required to just stand there and wait to be called in. And I was sat there the whole time praying to myself, please don't call me in, please don't call me in. I'm literally gonna poop myself if I have to go out there. I'm already fighting it as is, and it's just and what's crazy, right, is it's just from one bite of that, and you're cooked for eternity. And so just the pain and from that, every single time I've had, a lot of the time I chose not to have Moe's, just because I didn't want to deal with that. Because I remember I had a real close call one game. It was during our one of the semifinals games, I think it was, at our high school. I was sat there. We had Moe's, but I chose to eat it that day because I'd literally had nothing to eat all day, and I was just all right, look, I gotta thug it out here, because I'm not gonna be able to eat for another 6 to 10 hours here, because we went out of state, so we were gonna have to drive 5 hours and then drive 5 hours back, and there ain't gonna be no stops in between there, so I had to put something on my stomach. Good God, was that a mistake? And I hate the sort of situation Moe's put me in. Maybe if I go back and retry and get something, actually different there at Moe's, for sure, probably would be a different experience. But honestly, I'm putting Moe's right next to Arby's. I would rather starve. I'm gonna look you in the eyes when I say this. I would rather starve than have Moe's anywhere near my body again. Listen here, I will have Moe's as one thing and one thing only in this world, and that is an active laxative. And even then, it's not even worth it, because yes, I may lose 20 pounds from being in the bathroom, but I'm gonna get sick, and it's gonna mess with me for days. Same thing with Arby's. It's just it's not worth it. And I've got past trauma with this establishment. So it's just, even if, yes, I could probably have something different nowadays. Now I'm an adult, now things are different. I'm not willing to risk it. It's not within my wheelhouse. I just talked another 10 minutes about another establishment. Good God. But yeah, that's some lore for you of why I hate Moe's. So let's quit yapping and get into the next one. Bojangles. Okay, yeah, I mentioned it earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of mention it here. Chicken's all right. That's really about it. I can't really speak too much. Like, Bojangles was like the second option that my football team would have, other than Moe's and Chick-fil-A. This is the second most common. They'd bring in like a ton of chicken for us, things like that. Chicken was all right. It's all right. I mean, that's really about it, though. I mean, there's not really much else to speak of for Bojangles. It's just an average, run-of-the-mill chicken spot. I'd honestly rather Burger King over Bojangles. I'm not even gonna lie, because at least Burger King got a little bit more variety of things that I can eat. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm not gonna stick on this one too long. But here's the thing: I don't know whether I want to put it at like the back of all right or at the top of bad. Like, because I'd take Bojangles over McDonald's any day. I'm not even gonna lie. But I'll put it at the back of all right. I'll put it at the back of all right for right now. Yeah, we'll just go with that. Domino's. Okay, now we're getting into pizza chains. Okay, so here's the thing about pizza, and I might even put some of these in a lot of the same tier for a lot of the same reasons. I feel like depending on what state you're in dictates which pizza chain is the best, because I can have Domino's, and Domino's is by far the one I'm the most familiar with. I used to work at Domino's back in the day when I was back in high school as a senior, so I definitely have the most experience with Domino's. But I've noticed that in every single state it's different. Whether I'm in Mississippi, it could be so much better than when I come to Tennessee and it tastes like cardboard. Like, it's just different wherever you go. The quality varies so greatly. So it's like, it's kind of hard to rank, because like when Domino's is at its peak, like when I think peak Domino's, I'm thinking like that Mississippi dessert pizza they got over there, or that cheese pizza. For reference, what I normally get when I'm ordering pizza, I just get me a basic cheese pizza. That's about it, with the sauce inside. And the sauce for me, you know how bad I was with being picky? As a kid, I used to get the people to take the sauce out of the pizza. That's how picky I was. Only just in like the past 6 years have I started eating pizza with the sauce again. Like that. That is how picky your boy is right here. So you can kind of understand how deep this stuff goes with me. But yeah, overall, with Domino's, like when it's at its peak, it's like, I would say it's pretty great. But when it's bad, dude, like up here in Tennessee, like I honestly, I think the worst Domino's I ever had was in Alabama. I went to go visit my buddy Jason, and I went over there and had some pizza that he had ordered for us, and it was just bad. It was just really, really bad. Like, and then same thing in Tennessee as well. Like me and my buddy Gus, we ordered pizza one time up here. It's like sometimes it's all right and decent, other times it tastes like cardboard. So I feel like I'm gonna put it in between great and bad, and I'll put it at the top of all right. I honestly, I think what keeps it from being bad is the desserts. Honestly, you know what? Yeah, I forgot about the desserts. I'm gonna put it at the back of solid behind Culver's, because like I think the desserts every single where I go, like the little cookie pizza and the little lava cakes and things like that kind of saves it, because I've noticed a pretty good consistency whenever going over that kind of stuff. But yeah, without that, it honestly would probably be in like all right or bad. I'm not even gonna lie, but like the desserts low-key kind of save it in a lot of different ways. So yeah, that is gonna be that there. Dairy Queen. Okay, crash out warning. All right, so here's the deal. Dairy Queen was my first job that I ever had when I was 15, 16 years old. This establishment, I will never eat at again. And here's the deal. It's not because the food itself is bad, which it's not great. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you right now, it's bad. It's still going above McDonald's because at least Dairy Queen's edible. But the reason why I have such a disdain for Dairy Queen is obviously because I work there, but B, because of like lore that I have. So let me give you the tame YouTube friendly version of what just one of the stories that happened there, right? So specifically the Dairy Queen ice cream incident. That's what I call it. So I was a young wee lad. I was 15, 16 years old. It was a little bit of a hectic day, and they had a tendency to just kind of throw a bunch of tasks onto the new guys. So I was over here taking orders, making a bunch of burgers, getting ice cream refilled and stuff like that. And I was handling it, taking care of customers, things like that. And I was like, okay, I'm getting overwhelmed. I need a little bit of help here. My coworkers were gone. And I'm like, well, crap. And keep in mind, one of my coworkers was a girl, one of them was a guy. This is important for later on in the story. So I'm over here tweaking. I'm like, where the heck did they go? They were supposed to be back from their break. They're not. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. This one customer needs a thing of ice cream, but the ice cream machine is out of the milk stuff. So I go back into so there's a freezer and then there's a sub freezer where we keep all the ice cream. So I go through the freezer and then I go into the sub freezer. And I kid you not, I find these two absolute Neanderthals banging in the freezer. And I came in there just as they were like wrapping up, let's just say. And some chug jug juice just got all over the ice cream, let's just say. From that incident, I have never touched any single Dairy Queen anything ice cream ever again. 3 days after that, I quit that job, and I don't regret it, and I literally cannot look at that the same and ever again. Anytime I see a Dairy Queen, I think to myself, I'm like, you know what, maybe I should go back and try it, see if the food's actually decent or not still. And then I look at the Dairy Queen and I see very similar conditions to what I worked in, and it's kept me away for years. And I can't. But even outside of that, the food's nothing to speak of. Like, I can go ahead and tell you that right now. I've had so much Dairy Queen in my life because obviously I worked there for a little bit of time. They let you have like free food and things like that. It was nothing to speak of. I promise you that right now. So, I mean, I'm literally not missing on that much. Everything above Dairy Queen, Bojangles, Burger King, Cane's, Domino's, Culver's, Cookout, Chick-fil-A, I would rather have over Dairy Queen. Even, and that's what's crazy. That's how you know I hate McDonald's, Arby's, and Moe's, because even with my high school trauma of Dairy Queen, I would still prefer Dairy Queen over those three. Like, that is how how much hate I have for those establishments. So anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and get moved on here. Five Guys. Okay. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna put it in solid, but I'm as a base for now. But I kind of want to talk about it a little bit and see if I want to move it down or up. Five Guys, I think the biggest problem with it obviously is the price. Like, why am I paying $30 for a double cheeseburger? Like, why? I don't get it. Like, I've never been in a situation where, like, I mean, are Five Guys like each fondling the patty back there? Like, am I getting some like elite level filet mignon type of meat? I mean, based on the taste, it's good. I will say, it is a good burger. It's a fantastic burger. Like, the cheese, the meat. Like, I've never had a bad Five Guys burger. Really haven't. It's just, why are you so expensive? Genuinely, why are you so expensive? And then we get to the fries, right? Okay, so I think this is what honestly might put it down in like the top of all right instead of solid, because the fries, first off, just because you fill up my small order of fries and you fill up the whole bag does not justify the $30 price tag for just a burger and fries. All right, you're not slick, not in the slightest. All right. And plus, yes, my fat ass orders a small because I know they're gonna do that over there at freaking Five Guys. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, you want a small? Whole bag filled with fries. Good day. Like, so I prepare for that. But even still, it's not. It still doesn't justify the price. Like, the burger's good, but the fries are kind of mid. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you have to like put so much salt on them things just for it to be all right. Because if you don't, brother, that fry is bland and bad. I'm not even gonna lie. So you have to like deep salt that thing in order to get it like slightly edible. Slightly. Okay, maybe that's a little bit harsh. It's just the fries are mid, the burger's good, it's overpriced. That's kind of what keeps it from, like, if it wasn't so, like, even if they just changed it from being like not so overpriced, I would put it in solid. But I feel like I can't put it above all right. Now, I definitely put it at the top of all right. I'd definitely take Five Guys over Cane's Burger King and Bojangles. But I honestly, if you made me pick between Domino's and Five Guys, I'd probably take Domino's, just honestly, simply just because of the desserts and stuff like that. And that's another thing about Five Guys. Do they even have desserts? I don't think so. And even if they did, I'm certain that there's probably going to be like a subscription service attached with it because, like, of the expensiveness of it. I don't know. It's just not. And all I'm trying to say, it's not worth the price tag. Yes, it's pretty solid burger, but the overall things like that just ain't it. Here's the deal. I'm about to put so many in bad right now. Papa John's, Pizza Hut. Both of those are the literal exact same place to me. Like, they're like the CVS and Walgreens of pizza joints. They're the exact same. Every single time there's a Papa John's, there's a Pizza Hut right across from it. At least where, like, my experience is concerned, where I've lived. And both of them are not only next to each other, but they're both equally as mid. Every single time I've gone to one of these establishments, and believe me, I went there plenty of times. Look, when I was a lot younger, you know, we would I'd play sports and stuff like that. You know, my parents would take me to either Papa John's or Pizza Hut, stuff like that, with my team, things like that. We'd get like a ton of pizza over there, and it's just cardboard. It's literally just cardboard. It's awful. It's not like. But both of these share that, like, and genuinely, ooh, but do I put them behind McDonald's? Ooh, honestly, yeah, no, genuinely, Papa John's and Pizza Hut are worse than McDonald's. I'm not even gonna lie, because at least McDonald's, on the off chance, will give you, like, there's a 10% chance, but on that 10% chance, like, that they give you the peak of their experience, the best they can give you is a burnt burger with a little bit of cheese on it that can mask the taste, which I will say, I'll take that over cardboard pizza any day of the week. So yeah, those two are going to be staying exactly where they are there. Panda Express. Okay, yeah, that's also going in bad. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this right now. Panda Express pisses me off because, okay, here's the thing. If you're one of those people that thinks that Panda Express is good, you're either lying to yourself or we can't be friends. Like, that's just, like, because if you like Panda Express, like, genuinely, unironically, that tells me everything I need to know about you as a person. I don't know what it is, but just, like, on a spiritual level within my heart and my soul, I just know that you are just, like, such a gaslighter, because you're gaslighting yourself into believing that this establishment is good. Their rice is mid, their chicken is mid, like, no, not even mid, god awful. Brother, this establishment is like the equivalent of when you would come home from a long day at school and then you got home and you smelt this god-awful catastrophe happening in the kitchen and you spot the crock pot. The god-forbidden crock pot. And you just knew that your stomach was going to just explode within the next 5 minutes. Like, and deciding to consciously subject yourself to that pain by going to Panda Express genuinely is kind of a shame. Honestly, I'm putting Panda Express in I'd Rather Starve. I'm not even gonna lie. It's the same level as Arby's and Moe's to me. Like, it's just like Arby's and Moe's, I didn't have a choice. Arby's, I got trapped into going there. Panda Express is something you have to go out of your way to get. Like, you're subjecting yourself to that. And the reason I put it so low as well is because, like, not only is the food bad, but people will literally, out of every establishment, even more than McDonald's, I see people try to gaslight themselves and me into believing that this establishment is good and they've got good food, good healthy food. No. There are infinitely better options. Panda Express is the last place I would go. If I was in the desert and literally the only thing I'd find is a Panda Express, I'm dying from starvation. I'm not even gonna lie. No, better yet, I'll go to Panda Express and I'll literally just get a water. That's it. I can't trust anything that establishment has. Like I'm almost convinced like every single Panda Express is like a lobbying agent for like some freaking drug cartels. Cause like, dude, it is absolutely insane. It's not real food. I'm convinced of it. I'm ranting a little bit about that one. But yeah, overall, Little Caesars. This is also kind of another one I missed out on. I don't know how you slipped my gaze over there with Papa John's and Pizza Hut, but honestly, same thing that I said about Papa John's, Little Caesars, and Pizza Hut apply to Little Caesars. It used to be good. It did. Like genuinely. Here's the thing. Never was good in Mississippi, was never good in any other state. Now, Tennessee, from like the years of 2012 to 2014, there was this one Little Caesars that actually figured out, yo, what if we don't make it taste like cardboard? And it was genuinely good. And then that Little Caesars shut down and it went back to every single establishment being literally just cardboard. And it's actually depressing that that is the situation that we ended up in. So, yeah. Overall, just Little Caesars is the same thing as Pizza Hut and Papa John's. They're all cardboard tasting. Whataburger. Okay, dude, this is another okay, so the same thing I said about Cookout apply to Whataburger, dude. It's great. Genuinely, you get cooked in the middle of the night, you're extremely tired, you stayed up all night, or you're just high as a kite, and you remember that Whataburger exists, brother, you're getting one of the best burgers ever in the middle of the night. And that's a great thing. It's debatably even better than Cookout because Cookout closes at 3 a.m. Whataburger stays open 24/7. You can get that at any time of the night. Matter of fact, honestly, I might even go get that tonight. I'm not even gonna lie. That sounds fire right now. I'm not even gonna lie. They have very rarely ever messed up my food, no matter what time of day or night it is. There was a little bit of a time where they did, but I was particularly attributed to this one establishment. Literally any other one I've had, it's been fine. The burger, meat, cheese combo, it's always just like, I don't know what it is, but they always just have it fresh. They always have it fresh, especially in the middle of the night. You'd think they'd just like, you know, they'd pull out the container of meat that they've been holding on to for like the past 4 hours and slap that on a piece of bread and some cheese and then just give it to you like that. No, every single time it's freaking fresh. And dude, like I think maybe once or twice in my life Whataburger has done me wrong. And even then, like I have nothing bad to say about it. And then the fries too, dude, like literally, they salt them things just right, give them just amount of that flavor. And for you sauce lovers out there, like, I can only imagine how good it tastes for y'all should y'all, you know, put some ketchup or some mustard on that. But like, just the base fry, the base freaking meat, it belongs in great. Like, honestly, you could switch around Cookout and Whataburger for me. On any given night. Like, genuinely, it just depends on what I'm in the mood for. I don't think it quite beats Chick-fil-A quite yet, because I will say the desserts are kind of mid. I won't lie. I had a cinnamon roll there one time and it was pretty good, but honestly, like, I mean, I can just cook those with my girlfriend, I'm not gonna lie. Like, and they taste way better too, because yeah, she know what she's doing. Ooh, Sonic. Okay, honestly, I think out of every single fast food chain, I've gone to Sonic the most. But I don't think it's the best. I'd put it like the back of some. No, I'd put it above Domino's. Here's the thing about Sonic. I go to Sonic not because I think it. Oh, there goes my light. I go to Sonic not because I think it's like the best or this, that, or the other. It's mainly just for like convenience. It's like Sonic is like I talked about Culver's earlier being like the sit down version of Sonic. Sonic is like something I get if I'm just like, I'm having like a really rough day and I don't have the time to like go to this place and this place or like this, that, or the other, you know, I just, you know, I look for, you know, solid burger, solid fries, solid dessert. I can get it really quickly. It's like right next to my house and I can go home, you know, after a long, hard day. And like, cause sometimes you just need that, got the energy to go out and venture for a Whataburger, go out and venture for a Chick-fil-A or a Cookout, things like that. Cause typically where I live a lot of the time, those establishments can be far away, but there's always a Sonic like right next door, and I swear. There's also McDonald's right across the street that's honestly easier to get to, but even with that, I'm still picking Sonic. I'm taking that left turn and waiting in traffic rather than going to the easier access McDonald's. I've talked enough about that, but why? But the thing is like the only complaint I really have about Sonic, sometimes they get the order wrong, things like that. But I mean, most of the time they get it right, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's not a stellar burger, it's not stellar fry. No, I will say this: they changed their fries in the past like 2 years, and I will say I don't like their new style of fries. I think they're like the decision to just deep fry your fries to such a ridiculous degree that there's no longer any potato within them, and it's literally just deep fried fry. I don't know if that made sense, but yeah, I mean, it's just they're borderline like unchewable, and like I ain't trying to like freaking eat a bunch of long warheads, you know what I mean? Like in terms of like that, like that's how hard them fries can be sometimes. But like the burger's pretty decent. I've never really had too many problems with those. And then the ice cream's pretty solid, you know. Like I said, I get a lot of like M&M milkshakes, Blast, things like that. And for Sonic, I get those M&M Blast. I mix some M&Ms in there. They usually put a lot of them things in there. Wow, solid. Very rarely have issues with those. It doesn't melt too quickly either, so I can go like get home after a long day of work, get some Sonic, take a shower. Literally did that today actually, and sure enough, still there, still good. Can eat all my food and then enjoy it in peace. I don't have to rush or anything like that, which honestly is something I can't really say about Culver's. But Culver's overall, I do believe, has a little bit of better tasting food, and even though I have to eat it a lot quicker, I do believe that Culver's is far superior, and it's worth it to eat it quicker as opposed to Sonic, where I can take my time. Sometimes it's a little mid, sometimes it's just solid. So I mean, I'm just gonna put it in the middle of solid. I'm not even gonna lie. It's not great. It's nowhere near the best, but it's just convenient. At least for me. This one's more of like a personal one. This one's just objectively for me convenient to go to, and I just have no real complaints upon it, just depending on like location and stuff like that. I'm running out of storage because I keep yapping, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. Ladies and gentlemen, I might do a part 2 depending on things like that. Yeah, I just thought I'd try a little bit of a different style video today. I know I had some very wild, controversial takes on a lot of fast food industries there, but hopefully I explained it in a way to where you understand why I have certain opinions and views in certain places. This thing, I'm a very picky eater, if you can't tell already by the stylage of how I'm explaining a lot of this stuff. So hopefully you learned a little bit about me and stuff like that, and you know, whether you agree or disagree, I do hope you enjoyed this video. So ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for today's video. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, I'm going to be fighting on October 11th against the 3-0 undefeated prospect Jordani. He's going to be my toughest opponent as of yet, and trust you me, after I am done facing him, after I am done knocking him out, I am going to go to a fast food place in this order. Trust you me, because I'm going to be hungry. That's why this video was made. So ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw today, my name is Kodiak B&D. I post every single Wednesday, sometimes Saturdays if I'm feeling spicy. And make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one, baby.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss.